Do you have a dark entity? And how do you get rid of it? If you're here, you're meant to hear this message. This is an individual reading for Suzanne that we did live on TikTok. It's called The Looking Glass. We open a portal through paper, and it's an alchemical process of covering a piece of paper with charcoal and allowing spirit to show us symbology, numerology, geometry, gematria, astrological signs, astronomy, planetary alignments, deceased loved ones, and even spirit guides come forward within the piece of paper. And Suzanne just feels stagnant or stuck, or that something is limiting her mentally. She just doesn't feel like herself. So we opened a portal to see what was going on inside her body and on her ethereal, spiritual body. Many people are waking up to the truth that we do not fight flesh and blood. We aren't dealing with human beings. We are fighting principalities, powers, thought forms, entities, parasites that we can't see. And understanding that and awakening to it helps us to forgive and heal. Because if our mother, father, grandparents were dominated by a dark entity, then it's easier to forgive because our feelings don't have to be hurt, that these people who were supposed to love us weren't really themselves to begin with. So there's 3 parts to Suzanne. One at 1 o'clock where she's wearing a white wedding dress, but she's kissing a mask. The Suzanne around 11 o'clock is wearing a crown and holding a shield. There's another face of Suzanne at 11 o'clock eating a piece of bread that has teeth. Sharp teeth. This female old lady with sharp teeth entity is also on her belly, and she's trying to cut it off of her with like a saw with teeth on it. According to Scientology, we have a body, we have a mind, and then we have an energy that controls us. And this reality isn't real. It's like we're in a matrix. And in order to get energies like principalities and powers off of us, there's a process to get it off. One's body is a massive individual thetan stuck to oneself or to the body. One has to clean them off by running incident 1, then incident 2, according to Scientology. So an operating thetan is one who has control over matter, energy, space, and time, the physical universe. And a thetan controls this. And I think the reason I went into the Scientology room was because Spirit brought this to my attention to speak it to you, because you have shields in your piece with the operating thetan. And this T symbol is reflective of being under a wall or being separated by a wall and having to overcome this wall within you. So body thetans are the souls that stick to the life force that commands the body, meaning you. And your spirit will and life force is called the operating thetan. So you are an operating thetan when you take charge of yourself. So basically it's an awakening. I think the language of Scientology is purposely difficult, but it's really a very simple concept of aligning your actions with your intentions and your words and purifying your life, awakening, following your heart, finding that spark and that inner life spark and growing that spark within you. And it's a battle between flesh and spirit, basically. But if you can follow a Holy Spirit or a higher self, it will lead you over the wall and over any entities, principalities, and powers that are trying to keep you in ignorance and keep you in a lower realm. And the other reason I'm bringing you Scientology is because you have Scientology symbols within your art. And so understanding thetans and implants, energetic implants, and how to get rid of implants and how to get rid of negative energies is kind of a shamanic process that I'll have to explain to you. I'm going to give you books to read. I'm going to give you things to research. But the process is basically dying before you die. You die of your beliefs, you die of your emotions, you die of all of your unforgiveness, and you remove these implants through action and thought. And so dying before you die is basically letting go and surrendering. You go through the eye of the needle, the belly of the whale. And this eye of the needle and the belly of the whale is a really good place of power. So this person that is on your belly is called AL. I thought the name was AI, but it's actually AL. She has very sharp teeth. She's an old hag. She has fiery eyes and iron teeth and copper claws. And she's here to mess with your ovaries, mess with your womb, basically. If you look at your piece, she's biting a saw with teeth, and there's a snake with teeth, and then there's this, her face has sharp teeth, and then her arm is a snake that's making the letter D. And I'm guessing it's demon or Dagon the fish god or Darth Vader or something despicable, but it's this letter D. And so she interferes with human reproduction. So this is all things dealing with the womb. And you have a saw with teeth and you're trying to cut it out, and it manifests in you and you're kind of split and it comes alive within you. And I don't want this to scare you, because I want you to fill yourself up with joy, faith, and peace. I want you to be like Harry Potter and do the ridiculous spell. And I want you to understand that you have a spirit within you that can get rid of this spirit. You also have a lot of spiritual friends in our community, and I know some people who can assist you in getting really serious about deleting or cutting out this reproductive negative entity or energy. It says that she hangs over your one shoulder, and the part of you that's eating bread with sharp teeth and just gobbling up bread and just these teeth is on your shoulder. And so this is a pretty good signal that we know who we're dealing with. And if you know her name, this is very important for getting rid of her. So the battle of flesh and spirit, mind control, and entities eating your life force and taking your personal power takes your power away from hearing the voice of your higher self and keeps you in a matrix of ignorance and servitude to negative entities and energies that are predators. So forgiveness is the very first key, and forgiveness is a lot easier if you can realize that your mother was never your mother, or your grandmother was never your grandmother. They were part of a big bad wolf community, and they had a possession on them. So the way they treated you wasn't actually them, it was this entity inside of them that was making them who they became. And this is why the Christ says, if you don't hate your brother, your mother, even your own life, you really can't make your way out of this dark realm, because the only way to get through is through knowledge, awakening from ignorance, realizing you're not dealing with your mother, you're dealing with something you can't see. So it's so much easier to forgive because you don't have to take it personally, and it's so much easier for you to die of who you were because you were in an illusion. And all of the low self-worth was an illusion from someone who was taking your life force and your energy. I want you to read The Sorcerers Crossing. This book will teach you how to recapitulate your past and change your past by changing your perspective, breathing back the power that you gave away, and shifting your alignment. And the power of recapitulation is great. I recapitulate all the time. I've been doing it for 5 years nonstop, every day. I do it in water, and it helps to take back the power that I give away, and it really helps to retrain your brain. I also want you to buy a urinalysis test strip on Amazon and test your urine for pH and hydration. pH and hydration are the foundation of power, spiritually and physically. And I want you to take bloodroot if spirit leads you to. It's the best anti-cancer that spirit led me to that will help you to have power over any kind of ailments that are within you. Because you are a shield. And being a shield, you don't know how to use your shield if you don't have power. And if you don't have power, you don't know how to have power over your health, physical health, mental health, or spiritual health. Fresh cayenne pepper, not powdered, is also another really good anti-cancer that you should integrate into your diet every week, if not every day. It will kill parasites in your intestines, and it will also help you to lucid dream and hear the voice of your higher self. Dandelion is a detoxifier for the womb, and you had a dandelion in your art. I ended up not seeing it or bringing it forward, but it was in your art. And so dandelion and raspberry leaf were the two flowers that were brought forward. And once you become powerful and you heal yourself, you're going to teach others to heal through apothecary, teas, waters, spices, and smoking spices even. Smoking lavender herbs and things like that. The Vesica Pisces is around your crown at around 11 o'clock. And this reflects that you are in the belly of the whale. This is like the never-ending story. You are in the nothing. You're in the belly of the whale. You are in between worlds. So you are learning from your spirit guides, and you are becoming powerful, but you're in the nothing. And so like the never-ending story, you are learning from the 7 spirits of God. And this corona crown has 7 stars. It's called the 7 sisters. It's connected to your 7 chakras, the 7 wounds of Christ, and this realm of 7 colors to the rainbow, and the 7 days in a week and all of that. Because as the shield, you're so much like Doctor Strange. You will be using your hands, your mind, portals, astral travels, hearing a higher voice, following that higher voice, and your divinity. Around 6 o'clock, you have an ancient woman who is smoking a bong, and she died, and she is part of your spiritual family. Your real spiritual family loves you unconditionally and wouldn't treat you in any way that was inferior. When we are raised by narcissists, we're not raised by our real parents. We're raised by principalities and powers that took over our parents because our parents didn't raise their frequency and didn't awaken. So we're not really dealing with our parents, and this is what the message is for you. Smoking weed brings forward the energy of depression and overeating and the teeth energy. So getting into smoking other things like herbs that aren't a depressant is something that you'll probably end up getting into. You're also being shown that many of your pains that you have come from infancy at 7 o'clock. And as an infant, you had the spirit of abandonment and low self-worth and insecurity and very much confusion about being loved. And the truth of the matter is, your real spiritual family loves you no matter what. And so not being loved has just been with you for a very long time. Let's look at 9 o'clock, and the white horse is your spirit guide, and you have your hand kissing or trying to open the mouth of the white horse saying, "What do you eat? I want to eat what you eat." And so this is an affirmation from your higher self that you should be eating the diet that your higher self wants you to eat in order to progress to the next stage of your evolution and your expansion. So the white horse is a teacher of spiritual progress. It's about commanding your emotions, manifesting unblemished justice, awareness of your instincts and intuition. You're really developing an awareness of the unseen world, whether we're talking about principalities, powers, or we're talking about the holy dove, the white horse, and your higher self that are constantly trying to balance each other. Notice the white horse is about carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders and guarding. This is the shield and this energy that's on your shoulders. The man next to you at 12 o'clock has a whale over his head, and this is a symbol of someone with you who is in the belly of the whale with you, basically learning from spirit kind of with you. It seems as if you're sharing hands with this individual, cutting this owl, this old hag, snake teeth energy out of you forever. According to your symbology, around 1 o'clock when you married with the white wedding dress kissing the mask, you may have been really hurt, possibly terminally hurt if you didn't have the shield on you. So being the shield, you were protected and you're still protected, but you just have to step into that power and release and let go of your past and forgive, because the person that you are isn't your true self, because you're holding some unforgiveness inside of you, and that's not you. And what you were told about you isn't you. So transform into your true self, into the truth, and follow life, and step into your power through reading, meditating, yoga, and cleaning. Distract yourself as much as you can with comedy and thankfulness. Thank you for what you have to teach us about the unseen world.